Hey guys, this is Curtis Alexander. In this video, I want to talk about supplementing with magnesium to help treat anxiety. Before I get into the meat of this, make sure to go down in the description. I have a free checklist for you of other natural therapies that I personally use and that I recommend. None of them are supplements, so make sure to check that out. I think it would help you. So magnesium I've talked about before, it's involved in a ton of reactions in your body, enzymatic processes. Without magnesium, or if your levels get low, you are going to struggle. But the question becomes, is it really helpful for anxiety? Where some of this theory comes from is that we do know when you're in stressful conditions, your body will use up more magnesium. We call this a magnesium burn rate, okay? So it makes sense in theory that if we are losing it, maybe we should supplement with it to help with the anxiety. What about studies? Well, to be quite frank with you, there's not a lot of them, and the ones that were done were really hit or miss on whether it can be helpful. And part of that was the studies weren't really that well designed. For example, they had a tendency to use magnesium, but also use vitamin B6. In some studies, they use magnesium with Ativan or lorazepam. So very seldom were they looking just at magnesium. So if there was benefit, you can't necessarily say that it was just the magnesium. Some of the other ones, the studies looked at women who had anxiety associated with premenstrual syndrome, but their feedback was very subjective. You know, it wasn't anything they could really measure specifically. But as you know from my other videos, I'm not huge on studies. They're very helpful, but if we don't have a lot of studies like happens, we don't have a lot of studies with some of these natural substances, we have to start looking at the feedback we get from the marketplace and people that are actually using the product. And as far as that goes, it is very promising. I personally have supplemented with magnesium before at certain times. I don't have anxiety, nothing like that, but it definitely gives you a very calm feeling. I mean, so I can see where it may be beneficial. I've had feedback from people where they did state it helps their anxiety. This is not severe anxiety. If you have severe anxiety, magnesium is not what you should be doing. But if you have an anxious feeling, I've gotten good feedback from people that it helps, okay? One of the questions that comes up is, you know, if you wanted to try it, if you talked with your doctor and decided this was a good idea, what dose should you take? The golden rule with magnesium, start low and then move it up slow. For example, magnesium carbonate, and I'll put a link to a product in the description, a few of them that I personally have used, and I can vouch for them being good products. But magnesium carbonate, a normal dose is 325 milligrams. I'd start out a quarter to a half of that, see how you do, because we want to minimize side effects. The problem, you take too much magnesium, you're going to get loose stools, you're going to get stomach ache, okay? And obviously nobody wants that, so we want to avoid that. So start low, go slow. A nice thing it does tend to work fairly quickly. I can take a dose of magnesium and feel a calming effect the same day. Some of the studies went anywhere from a couple weeks to a month, more than a month. So, but I would suspect that you're going to notice it fairly quickly. That's one of the good things. So again, going back to, if you want to do this, what is the best, form to take? And people are going to give you all sorts of different recommendations. You may have to experiment a little, okay? Like I said, I've taken a magnesium carbonate product, that worked. Magnesium glycinate is thrown around a lot. It is absorbed, it has a higher absorption rate in your body. It's also more expensive, so it has downsides as well. Another cheap thing you could try is doing an Epsom salt bath. Epsom salt is a form of magnesium. You can put a cup or two of the Epsom salt in your bath water, sit in it, maybe 15 minutes a few times a week, see if that helps. You absorb it through your skin. We believe that you absorb it through your skin. So that's an option as well. I do want to throw one thing out there. Sometimes, people may have like Parkinson's disease, and there's Can be some anxiety that comes along with that, so they'll supplement. But the problem is there is a drug interaction with magnesium and the Parkinson's drug Sinemet. It can decrease the bioavailability, which means how fast and how much of your Sinemet that you're absorbing is going to go down, so it won't be as effective. It's just important for you to know that, okay? If you've taken magnesium, let me know, did it help anxiety? I'd love to hear from you. It's helpful for me, helpful for the other people that are watching the video, okay? So let me know in the comments. Speaking of helpful, I hope this video was, guys. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.